Information as propaganda now, this time from the early 50s. Without fear, animator Peter Sachs's personal vision of a united post-war Europe was believed missing until found in America last year by BBC4.
Europe today. In every country, we face an unknown future. We hope for peace, for a life worth living. Let's take a look at ourselves. We haven't changed much since time began. We can be brave or timid. We can love or hate. We haven't changed much. But our knowledge is wider, our powers are greater. For the first time, we can destroy completely. But with that same knowledge, we can also build. We can provide. Modern invention, the world grows smaller. And yet, in Europe, we still have barriers. They keep us apart. They make it hard to trade the goods we have for the goods we need. And we all need things we haven't got. Food from another land, perhaps. Work. Materials. Light and power. Medical services. And all of us need hope. Europe, divided as she is, does not fully use her wealth of land, of men and their skill. If these were fully used, freely used, Europe could provide for all. But today, another voice is heard. This voice threatens to mold Europe in its own pattern. It is the familiar voice of dictatorship. It tells us the barriers would be smashed, quickly, ruthlessly. It pretends to offer another new order. It claims factory and farm would be reorganized on a vast, impersonal scale. The state decrees our place in the scheme of things and keeps us in it. Man, woman, and child, we all have our place. Religion has its place. Science has its place. And when we work, it is one for all, and all for one. But what of our loyalties? Is our duty to ourselves and our families, to our work and our fellow men? No, our duty is to the all-powerful state. What of justice? The state will be justice. And what of liberty? The state will be liberty. And what of peace? Peace. We can still walk in the sun, of course, but not talk in it. For words are dangerous things, even words spoken to friends. And worst of all are words of doubt, for doubt is the greatest sin. We must not question what we have been told is true. We have been told we are all equal. So we are, at the start, equal within the framework of the state. But who controls the state? Is it ourselves, or is it an iron group we can never see and never hope to change? Is this the way we must unite? Come back to the present, where we still have our freedom. Liberté, Freiheit, call it what we may. No man who has ever known freedom will willingly give it up. Freedom to choose the way we want to live and respect the ways of others. Freedom to believe what we will and let others do the same. Freedom to combine with our workmates and protect ourselves against slavery. Freedom to choose our government. And if we don't like what it does, the right to throw it out and elect another. Freedom above all, to think what we like and say what we think, without fear. Freedom should belong to every man in every land. Freedom flourishes only where there are decent standards of living. Within our separate national limits, we've all done what we can to provide work and homes, to care for the sick and the old. But despite all our effort, there is still poverty and want. There are still people to whom freedom is an empty word. These are the people most ready to listen to the voice of the all-powerful state. And where that voice is heard, freedom is in danger. Our task, then, is to face that danger. By removing poverty, we can bring back hope and give freedom a meaning again. To do that, we must work together. We must, as nations, break down the barriers. Together, as free men and of our own free will. We can still preserve the things that make us different, that make us what we are. But we can also learn from each other, help each other. Together, we can develop our trade, increase employment, share our materials. And doing so, we can build a prosperous Europe, free from the danger within. But there is also a danger from without, a danger no less urgent. Against it, only a united Europe will be strong. Side by side, using our joint resources to the full, we can defend our freedom. For a united Europe will not only be strong, it will be rich. Europe as a whole is rich. Above all, she has the knowledge, the skill, and the strength of her people, a people born free and living freely. Freedom is Europe's heritage. Sharing these things together, working together, thinking together, we can guard that heritage, not only for ourselves and our children, we can preserve it for the world.
Our final